Akademiks can't ride no whip.
This is crazy. All right. I seen Tee Grizzley is now finally officially responding to the folks who are claiming that he killed his own auntie. Okay? This is what he has said. Now, if you don't know, because of some new information and because of the person who was linked to the murder of his aunt, people feel like this was a backdoor, that Tee Grizzley set his own aunt / his manager up for death. Now, I believe that sounds ludicrous, but people said after they found the person who did it, that person with Tee Grizzley, a bunch of coincidences that kind of was like too coincidental, they felt Tee Grizzley had something to do with it, and Tee Grizzley is now speaking out about it. Here we go.
I just ain't the nigga that's about to go around trying to clear no shit up because it is what it is. As far as like, you know, I ain't about to be. Certain shit you can't entertain, bro, especially when it's absolutely nonsense. You see what I'm saying? But you do got a lot of motherfuckers though that go to the internet and think that everything they see on that bitch is facts. It's not a place for facts. You can see some shit dead in your face, chat. That's not true. So you think you can't be fooled by the fucking internet, bro? I just ain't the nigga that's about.
Okay, all right. I don't know if he did much clearing up there. I think he basically just, in a roundabout way, just kind of denied it. I don't, for one, believe that this is true. I think the grim reality behind it is that, you know, first of all, when people get shot or hurt, is usually the person who did it. This is why if you check out how police investigate crimes, usually the person who murders somebody is usually someone close to them. And that reason could be anything of the sort. The details of how his aunt got murdered seemed impractical for me to believe it would be Tee Grizzley if he was trying to get away with it or trying to seem like that wasn't him trying to set it up. Tee Grizzley was in a vehicle with his aunt, and he got out of the vehicle. Then somebody came and shot the vehicle up. If it's your auntie and you want her dead that much, why even get in the vehicle with her? You're the prime suspect, my guy. You know, so I know people wanted to, like, you know, hey, he did it. The facts of the case actually don't really support that, but I understand why people would drum that up because, you know, Tee Grizzley himself, he plays like GTA RP. People actually think life is like GTA RP, where it's just really so black and white, where it's like, yo, if his auntie died, oh, he got to be him. He's the main character. No. She could have had issues with other people, maybe somebody she knew. I'm not ruling out that somebody she knew that set her up. I'm just saying if Tee Grizzley had an ounce of sense, and let's say he wanted to set his auntie up, you don't get out the car. You don't go somewhere and get out the car and then have people kill her. You know why? The police are going to think you're behind this shit. And you want to be as far away from it as I would think is possible. So that didn't make too much sense to me. But the internet, again, is going to go whatever rumor or whatever angle. I seen Flacco been pushing this shit heavy. Flacco been pushing this shit heavy. Also, somebody says, yo, he sounds guilty. What do you want him to say? If he starts crying, he looks more guilty to y'all. What could he say? Yo,
oh my God. I've been on the phone all
confirmed by TMZ.
OTF or 600 backdooring Tee Grizzley. Because at the time, Tee Grizzley was really close with OTF and 600 through Buka 600. So when a 600 member murdered his auntie, people thought, man, did OTF or 600 like backdoor Tee Grizzley? It wasn't until time went by and people began to put the pieces together. Like, hold on. OTF or 600 couldn't have backdoored Tee Grizzley because the killer of Tee Grizzley, Wu-Tang, was arrested in 2019. In 2022 or 2023, Tee Grizzley did a joint album with Lil Durk. In 2024, Tee Grizzley made Buka 600 right-hand mans with the Killer Wu-Thing his groomsmen for his wedding. So Tee Grizzley was becoming closer, like probably closer than ever, with the alleged parties that murdered his auntie. So it couldn't have been a backdoor, because if it was a backdoor, if he felt like his life was in danger, because Tee Grizzley did multiple interviews saying that they were coming after him, that the shooters opened up the car door looking for him. So if the parties who murdered your auntie was actually looking for you, then you wouldn't be like friendlier with them. You wouldn't be closer with them. You wouldn't make Buka 600 your groomsman. You wouldn't, right, like do a song with Lil Durk or a joint album with Lil Durk. And the only Lil Durk ties here is Buka 600 is signed to OTF. But Lil Durk has nothing to do with this whatsoever. So that's when the theories of, okay, maybe Tee Grizzley backdoor his auntie. Maybe Tee Grizzley was reported stolen. They attempted to initiate a stop. He ran away. He was eventually thinking that maybe Tee Grizzley is telling some fibs here.
So
I'm gonna be honest, and this is like the harsh reality, right? Yo, I think Tee Grizzley know exactly what that was behind. I'm gonna be honest. I think Tee Grizzley know exactly what that was behind. But here's the thing. Y'all be liking street rappers, and then when they come online, I think we're too used to the podcast scene in LA. I'm not attacking the podcast scene in LA, but we're just too used to that where everybody tells us something. I'm pretty sure Tee Grizzley knew and understands why that happened. Whatever recourse from that either happened already and it's off the net. I like how Tee Grizzley handled this because he didn't feel the need to go prove to fans that a ridiculous rumor that he killed his auntie is not true, and actually they killed her over X, Y, and Z, and they slid back over there. Like, yo, listen, if this is some street shit, keep it in the streets. I believe this is some street shit. I'm not saying his aunt was involved in street shit, but this was some street shit some way, somehow, that resulted in this happening. If you ask me. Somebody said too much smoke for there not to be fire. I think there's easy explanations, not what we think, but why would he tell us? Why would he tell us? Why would he feel the need to go online and tell a bunch of people who are going to argue on Twitter and Reddit about whether he's a killer or not, or he backdoored his own aunt? Plus, it might only open him or other people up to possible indictments. So, yeah, who knows? His aunt could have been involved in something. I don't want to like throw out no accusations, but I actually wholeheartedly believe that this was, Tee Grizzley knows what happened. He didn't backdoor his aunt, but this is not something for online. And I think we're too used to the LA podcast scene, which them type of niggas, they will go kill a nigga, and before the body even gets found, they'll be at no jumper, just confessing that they just caught a hat. Trust me, okay? Anyway, Tee Grizzley, I'll take. By the way, he was trying to get me to call him. But yeah, okay. Speaking of who I should be calling, let me see. Here we go. Why my phone so low? Hold on. I'm trying to make a call. All right. It's not picking up. All right. Anyway, we'll move on for now. We'll circle back to that. Okay. We'll get to NBA Youngboy in a little bit. What I did want to get to, all right, we did the cash out shit already. 50 and Dave Blunts, we could do that.